That's recording.
Oh, we good.
So these boys messing with these vegetative state women.
That's going.
Knocking them up and getting them pregnant.
What do you mean?
You see, the chick gave birth, but she been in a coma for 10 years.
Wow.
So they have been doing DNA tests for all the male,
Nurses?
health attendants.
That's nuts, man. You know what's crazy about that is I watched a TV show where that happened. What was it called? It was one of those shows where everybody disappeared. You all right, Trey?
Yeah.
Fix your stand.
That's what I was over here trying to do, but then we're already recording.
Yeah, you're leaning a little bit. It's all right.
All right.
We'll
Let
chop
me
it.
get myself together.
We'll chop it.
All right.
Now, so I saw something similar to that where this woman was pregnant, but her husband was taking care of her at home, so he ended up smashing, which everybody was kind of judging him a little bit. But I was like, well, damn, your wife is in like a little bit. She wasn't like sleep, but she was just in a. Would it have been better if he just cheated on her or smashed his wife? Because if she was in her right state of mind, would she consent? When she comes out of this thing, she's pregnant. Basically, that's where I'm going with that. So it was kind of, she was in the same state for like 10 years.
So this is like something that's happened. Like the only time I ever heard of that was on Kill Bill.
This was like on what was the one, man? What's the name of the show, bro? It's when like everybody disappeared, and it basically was the rapture.
Lost?
Nah, man, this was recently. Maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. Me and my wife used to watch this show, man, and like everybody disappears and shit like that, and they're trying to figure out why, and it happened on this certain day, and it's only like, you know.
Was it on USA with the 100 or something?
Not the 100. The 100 was about the space thing. I like that show too. Rest in peace, Octavia from that show, man. That was my baby.
Indeed.
No, like I feel that, man. Like I understand.
No, man, she's not Octavia. Octavia's still alive. She's hot too. That's the sister. It was another chick on that show. She was the leader of the ground people. I don't know if you didn't watch it, but she was the leader of the ground people. She's really, really hot. We know she plays in Fear the Walking Dead, the daughter.
See, I don't watch The Walking Dead.
Oh man, what are you doing with your life?
Stops.
Man, you want to know something? Like people are into the zombies thing, and like I don't subscribe to that shit because you need to just be prepared because I believe that every single thing that makes it out into the general public, right? I know we're going early, but everything that makes it out to the general public is to condition us to where we're not surprised by it, right?
Okay.
And so because you've seen zombies for so long that there are now zombie kits. There's like a whole zombie market because it's plausible.
You know, there's an actual government agency with a zombie tax force.
See, I can't even fuck with that, dude.
It's been like that though, man. Like we've been fascinated by zombies, man, from the Night of the Living Dead.
That was Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
So yes, but if you take it all the way back to that, like we've been fascinated by this stuff. That's why when The Walking Dead was coming out, I was like, man, I'm gonna watch this show because
a lot of people watch it.
It was just, well, I've been watching since the beginning. When I saw the trailer, like 6 months before it came out, I was like, man, I'm watching that show because it wasn't like the regular, the stupid ass zombie movies, man. And the progression of the show has been cool, but it's starting to die down a little bit. It's starting to get like Sons of Anarchy, where it was fire at the beginning, and then you have to try to like make a storyline for a lot of this stuff. So it doesn't really, I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't come across in the writing. And then Rick's not on the show anymore.
No, is he gone now?
Yeah, he already got kidnapped. Well, yes, he got kidnapped.
Because I have a few Walking Dead because of the comic book aspect of it, but it's just kind of like I don't fuck with zombies like that.
I like zombies, man.
No, dude, because here's the deal. Like, I already have my zombie plan in place. Like, I hope that y'all can all make it to me so that we can feast gloriously. But it's like, you got to be prepared just to get the fuck out of Dodge. Real talk.
True.
What I worry about is the tidal wave.
The tsunamis. Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, and matter of fact,
man, rest in peace in the recent one that happened in Indonesia, man. I don't know if anybody's
no,
listening to us, but like,
I didn't see that.
no, man. Like, I work with some people. I got to visit the region, and it's like, you know, I always just keep an eye out for my peoples. You know?
Right. Facts. I still talk to people in Alaska.
Well, it's just like, you know, like once you realize that people that have families and shit, and like, you know, and like they just trying to get home too. You just hope that they can get home.
That's facts. Yeah, that's you know, I watch Homeland. And, and I went to look at the new trailer when the season was coming out and all this other crazy shit. But they had like a little special effects.
Is it worth it?
Well, I think Homeland's great. You know, so
like,
oh, that's a great show,
baby.
That is.
You want to know something? Like, no spoilers to anybody
it's
out
Carrie
there.
Land, baby. It's Carrie
But
Land.
episode 9, they were in a precarious position. And the movie, it's been out for years. So they were in the bunker, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
And this is season 1 where the guy who's now in Billions was the sleeper. Man, Billions is for real.
That's
we can talk about
got
that.
me on Billions.
Yeah, Billions is good too.
Billions.
You're talking Brody.
Man,
Yes.
I still call him Brody.
Yeah, so like
every time I see him, Brody.
He's ass. No,
oh, Brody. Yo, did we do the slide thing? Man, we got the whole slide thing and didn't even do it. See, Pert?
I don't even know where it went.
I don't know. Let me read it for someone. Anyway, no, man, like they had it and they had like the camera exactly on him, and you're like basically looking at him trying to see if he's gonna set off the bomb.
Yeah.
And like, cause the thing that they have been planning for and angling for, it finally happened. It's like one of those things where like, all right, let's see the payoff. And it's like one of those things where it's like the tension of that show.
Yeah.
From that one episode, let me know that that's a brilliant show.
Yes, and I think that's what makes that show great. Like that show gives me anxiety, man. Like I'll be sitting there like, and then it just ends and you like this. Like you just like clamp.
Well, what about the premise stuff?
You like clamp to the fucking
like with actual terrorists and CIA and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, no.
Is that a little bit like
no? I think that's right on the mark, man. Because you got to look at how many people give people up all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like people get jammed up, and then 4 terrorists. Oh, they find 4 cells that were tucked off in the middle of Boom Coon, Afghanistan somewhere.
But
man.
we were a guerrilla nation at one point in time. We were the guerrillas.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why I just kind of like, I always err on the side of caution of trying to pick sides in the war that I didn't start.
Well, no, I'm not a fan of war at all. I'm not a fan of anybody's side of war. I don't like America's side. I don't like the other people's side. Probably one of the only people who didn't cry on 9/11 because it was like I have Muslim friends who showed me what we were doing over there, and it made me feel away. So when 9/11 happened, I went back to bed. My old lady at the time woke me up like, "Oh, planes crashed to the building." I was like, "Oh," and rolled over and went right back to sleep. And she woke me back up like at 11, like, "Oh, this happened, that happened." I was like, bro, like I was comatose, bro. Like it didn't bother me, and to be honest, not that I didn't care about the people that died. It's just like I know the reason why they died is because it's a war game. So we play in war games back and forth, and we can't sit up here and be like, "Oh, remember that, remember this, remember that." When we played those war games and created those terrorists at the same time, because if I come through and kill everybody in this room except your kids upstairs, but let's say he knows that I killed him, right? So what do you think he's gonna grow up to be? And I'm American. You guys are from anywhere, China. Yeah. What do you think he's gonna grow up to? You think he's gonna grow up and love America?
But here's the deal, right? Like let's just take all the globalness out of it. It's all about the opposition, right?
That's hood tactics.
No,
that's where you want to go with it too.
Because here's the thing. Everybody discounts the School of Hard Knocks, man, and it makes me mad because like the School of Hard Knocks has taught us more than most schools.
Facts.
And so it's like all I'm saying is that you got to think about it how we really know it, which is the opposition. You put any flag, any characteristic, any border on it, right? And it's just the other. Right. Like right now, we got Trump over here doing this thing with the wall, and like I don't really care about the wall, and I don't really subscribe to all that. And I don't want to talk about Trump because I don't really. That dude, he said very very early on, right? He called us the blacks, And once I hear somebody call us the blacks, he's not thinking of us as part of him. And so you don't have to say shit
like
else.
African American.
Right.
Man, you don't even have to. Don't call me shit. Don't call me anything.
Yeah,
the elephant man.
Right. My African American.
Like fuck.
Yeah.
Like I saw that wall stuff because I look over at speeches, right? Because those are on record.
Uh-huh.
And like last night, he decided to
address the
he
nation
decided
for the
to talk
first
to
time in his presidency from the
but you
Oval
talk
Office.
but you talk to us, and all of a sudden you gotta dash in a little bit about African Americans, like how this is affecting the border too.
Like you ever mentioned
anybody
this
who's
before?
brown knows, yo man, there are certain places that are still the barrio.
Right.
But everybody's just trying to get home. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, when it comes to, like, safety and shit like that, I subscribe with all that, right? Safety above all for whoever I care about, right? Because that's really the truth of it. Anybody I care about, not everybody.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Right.
But at the same time, don't have people missing their paychecks, right? Don't fucking up credit that you created, that the government created to put us into another bind is the credit, but now you're gonna fuck it up because you can't pay me.
I was kind of banking on it. I was hoping that it did happen.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you why right after this, man. Yeah, because we about 13, 14 minutes in, and welcome. Yeah, Power Hits 281 definitely in the building, man. Shout out to Creer. I was going to say Greer. He's just I know we did, but it's Keith Creer. And when I was at him on Facebook, I thought it was Greer too, but it's Creer. Yeah. What's up with you, big dog, man? You already know what it is, man. 2019, episode number 11. Welcome to Planet Pert, where you can get in free, but you got to be a G. Like a Newport show, Louisiana Parish Jail. I ain't got no filter, man. And I'm about to tell you why I wanted.
He got through it real good for the first time.
Yeah. It's a new year.
Starting off the
No, man, but what I really want to get into, man, with that is the reason why I hope that it would have delayed these checks is I need those checks too, because I need those checks for not me personally, but my wife needs that check to get some shit straight so we can get into the crib. Like, so I need it, like family wise, right? Like I need it. But then I wanted it to be a little delay in the spank. And she's a responsible voter, so it's not her fault. But I wanted that because when people are like, oh, the lesser of two evils, oh, this or that, like people need to get slapped in the fucking face. And I hope this nigga, I hope he wakes up the cells of people who were asleep, who are the sleeper cells that are still asleep, that are just like, oh, it don't matter, I don't need to vote. Oh, it don't matter, I don't need to do this. Oh, it does matter, because you could say this lesser of two evils, or Hillary wouldn't have been crying about no damn wall shutting down the government, bro. That's all I'm saying. So you could say the lesser of two evils.
Hillary would have taken out some.
Who cares? People die. That's what happens. It's war games, right? Like, that's why I say, but we can't care when it happens to us. That's all I'm saying. So that's my whole thing about war games. It's like, bro, if we're out here on the streets, yes, we're gangbanging. Somebody shoots some shit up. Guess what we got to go do back? Shoot some shit up. But
if we're gonna be the biggest arms dealer in the world,
thank you, man. People need to wake the fuck up, though. And I really wish they would have took a little lick and missed out on their check, just for even if it delayed 2 weeks.
So do you think people are going to the polls?
They better, because they see this temper tantrum that our fucking baby president is having right now over a damn wall that's not doing anything. They're fabricating numbers. They're lying about stuff. Like, they've been doing this for 2.5 years, 2 years now, or 2.5 years, when they were lying during the elections. 3 years, really? Yeah. Shit, they've been lying this whole time, man. Like, 4,000 terrorists we stopped. Like, no, y'all caught 4.
I think this border wall is like a $5 billion symbol of racism, because we all know that it's not going to stop anything, because the biggest port of entry with drugs is air, sea. No one walks across in a caravan of people when they don't walk across. That's not where most of the drugs are coming in.
TV has taught me otherwise.
No, but they're coming.
So, but well, no, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that to people with criminals and all
that. On the boats.
Thank you. I mean, it's just
not
easier.
Keys.
It's an easier way. And then the tunnels. I mean, you watch
the tunnels.
the tunnels. So it's like you're building a wall just to say, I want to separate myself.
No, you want to put, you want to put on a name. You got to build something.
And because he promised all these red hat people that.
Bro, let's be honest. Who do you think is going to build this wall? And
Mexicans.
Well, no. What company? Who's contracted to build these walls? Build what? How many people? How much you want to bet it's going to be somebody who shook his hand?
People he knows.
Thank you. So you want $5 billion from the American
Dick Cheney did that, yeah.
To the people.
But Dick Cheney had better businesses.
True. Hollenberg and was no joke.
And KBR.
Still, KBR too. Yeah.
Shit, everybody ate. Everybody ate so much that BP now found a reserve
billion, in oil,
of so much oil that it's about to change things up. Yo, I see you, BP.
Yeah. They need to make that money back. That's why I got fired from up there because they asked when they had to start.
Went down.
Yeah, they had that we call it the incident, but whatever, bro. It is what it is. Man. I understand business. I understand how things move. I understand, in order to pay off shit, you got to cut numbers, you got to cut jobs, and probably increase production, but then cut jobs and make fewer people do everybody else's job.
Man, shout out to the protesters, but at the same time, y'all gotta chill sometimes with the employees because they just picking up checks. Because it happened to me over at one of my clients.
Oh yeah.
I'll keep it real.
We had threats up there too.
But it's just unnecessary because man, I'm just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
I was literally not wanting to be there either.
So you don't back to the topic, man. You don't think that.
Yeah.
You don't think that people need a wake up call to be more productive members of society, man? And I'm not gonna just resonate it on voting, but they just cut Medicaid
to do what?
And Social Security.
Oh,
dude. They're trying to. I should say they're trying to right now. For $1 billion or some crazy. Wasn't the bill?
Well, that was always in the Republican.
They can't fund it,
tax plan or the budget plan.
Bro, when I look at my check, it doesn't say I can't fund this when the SSI comes out of there.
But you're paying for right now.
Yeah, but I'm not paying for me. I'm paying for somebody else's right now. I'm not paying for my right now.
Yeah.
Feel me? So this, and I know that, but people have been screaming for years that we're going to run out of money. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. It's a panic for a lot of people as well. I don't fall on any side of the podium when it comes down to that, bro, because it's just I know there's truth in what you're saying. I know there's truth in what you're saying. Yeah. I need to try to figure out what's the real truth.
I got you.
You feel me? And find the balance of that. Because I could never go off a one-man story, Because you could tell me a story and somebody else that was there tell me the same story, either more detail or less detail. You feel me? So I could take both of those stories, put them together, and come up with a vision of what I think happened in my own brain. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna no, it's not gonna happen. But I feel like people need to just get up off their ass, man, and try to figure this thing out, dude. And Republicans, Democrats, none of that stuff really matters to me. I have Republican friends. I side with them. But when you cop out over guns and thinking, oh, they're gonna take this away, like the little petty stuff we talked about before, that to me shows that how closed-minded you really are.
I think of it as
thinking that's gonna change stuff. Yeah, but that's just not gonna go anywhere. And throwing temper tantrums and addressing it. I don't even watch his addresses anymore. Addressing the nation and crying about a wall, to me, it's just it's baby shit. But on the other side of that, I'm also all right, give them the fucking wall. Tax the people. Let them feel it a little bit, man. People need to, and I'm gonna feel it too. But what I'm saying,
why? There's no stopping his. There's no stopping.
I had to teach you
that's where they're at right now. Not even about the wall. It's more about if you give him what he wants.
2020.
Then there's no. I'm saying there's no balance in his power at that point because he'll know I will have everything else I want because I've battled this. Not the fact that I promised in the campaign.
Oh yeah.
The wall. Right now, you want to fight just so you can say I won this fight.
True.
You see what I mean? And so it's
even if he loses, still a win. Because he shut the government down, he's gonna say, "Well, I shut him down. I did this, I did that, and I'll shut him down again for you." And
this is for 2020.
The 50,000 people in that stadium are gonna
go absolutely.
They're gonna go and they're gonna clap. They're gonna stand up and they're gonna go fucking nuts.
His base is locked.
If he does it, they're still gonna clap. they're gonna go even louder.
I think his base is pretty.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That's the reason why. That's the reason why.
That,
even as somebody who just is observing, like I don't appreciate that because that's not a leader, man. Like a leader will convince you because here's the deal. Like Mr. Hughes taught me about the Congress and the executive branches and all that stuff, and he said very very flippantly was that the Congress was specifically supposed to be the most powerful part of the government.
True.
Right? And they say in order to see what happens with a president, you got to wait for 4 years after.
Okay.
Because that's where you get the repercussions of whatever was put in place.
Okay.
But all that stuff, man, it doesn't even like enter into my frame with them, dude. You came and played a role of figurehead for a company. Yeah. The company of the United States of America, the way that I would run it. And so therefore, yeah. Like, and that says with all of them, because I believe all of them, if you, like, I've read enough books to know that any man with power will do whatever the fuck they want.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, and right now, like, I went over to D.C. for the first time in my life, man. Let me just tell you, as a black man, that was sobering, bro. I did not realize, like, how big those buildings actually were.
Right.
Like, real talk, like, when you just think about the stone, man, and it's like, a black man designed that shit, man.
Nice.
Like, a lot of the architecture was done by somebody, don't even know his name right now, right?
Right.
Fucked up. And so it's like, when I saw those streets, and I was just like, man, this is grandiose. I got a little patriotic. Like, real talk, I went over to to go oversee the Michelle Obama painting, because you know my mom wouldn't have allowed that.
Yeah.
Like, so like we went on over and saw all the paintings, and it was just like, when you just see like that there's history, bro. Like when you see that there like as some dude like who is so far removed from slavery, it's crazy. And like just the fact that that you get just the fact that there is a point where you have to know that you were literally advertised like Ajax and Coca-Cola and fuck it, Burger King.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Because they save the documents and hang them on walls as artifacts. And you're like, right? And then when like they use your plight and say that was the reason for the Civil War, when anybody who's really knows business and knows taxation and all that stuff knows that it was about so many other things. It was kind of weird. And so like now we got this guy after having the black man, which was supposed to like make us all happy again. All right. Now we got him who calls us the blacks. I mean, it's like we're all kind of like stepping down, right? So this wokeness that you say, Pert, man, it doesn't exist because we all are just run out because we actually paid attention during the Obama years and realized you don't change anything.
Right. True. That's true.
I always feel like, I mean, he's the president. We're looking at it as like the most powerful position in the world, but he's ran by some entity.
Yes.
And
just a head figure.
And regardless of what we see him do, he's allowed to. I mean,
yes.
Someone's allowing this to happen.
Yes.
And which means that there's a bigger problem than Trump.
Well, it's just the fact that he got through that he got that speech through, right? Like as a speechwriter, I would have never allowed him to say certain things. And the reason why is because he's trying to almost sit and take a humanitarian angle on it. And it's like, no, you should be like, I'm trying to fulfill my promise to everybody and do what needs to be done. This is how it works in Washington. I came in here to drain the swamp, and this is the way that we have to do it in the swamp. I'll talk to y'all when this is all over and we're all safe. Boom. Right?
Right.
That's what I would say as the man who
own it.
Every single
like
person.
You were gonna own it.
Like, dude, like, yo, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I run this shit. The buck stops here, bro.
I will own this shutdown, and then when he shut it down, the Democrats need it.
Yeah, the Democrats own it. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta be like the dude, be like, yeah, I did it.
And what?
And what you gonna do? And slap him. Pimp tactics, son.
And I mean, we had shutdowns under.
That's what happens when you pay for women and get women. When you pay for women, you over here trying to figure out a way. But when you actually have a woman who wants to lie down with you, it's something totally different, right?
Right.
So that dude's used to paying for women because you could see.
Gotcha.
It's on record.
Yeah.
I ain't calling nobody out.
No, nothing.
So like, if he was really about it, he would have known, yo, man, I already made the mistake. And what you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, what we gonna do now? And it would have been over, right? But he didn't do that. He didn't do that at all. Now he's over here whining. Now he had to get in front of everybody. Well, like, I did this.
True.
What? No, I don't have to tell you what I did, man. You voted me in here to do this stuff. Let's get it done.
Now, what about the argument that, I mean, do you feel there's any truth to to any of his points? Like, I know he was kind of pandering a little bit when he tried to throw in a little African-American blurb for a little second or two, but I know there are more people than him, and I've even heard black people argue that, the illegal immigration is taking our jobs and this and that.
Yeah, I hear that from a lot of people, not just white people or Trump fans. Or
right.
What the hell.
What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think so, because they're jobs that they're not going to do anyway. And not saying that all Spanish people come over here and cut grass or do construction, but there's a lot of them that really I know, but there's a lot of them that really, really do. One thing, I'll share a story, and I guess this is where they could say, I play devil's advocate with that, because when I went to Alaska and I traveled to Michigan, and they knock on the door at the hotel, and a white lady opens the door talking about making my room up, I was kind of shocked. Like, you got the right door, you know what I mean? Like, because down south, we're accustomed to them taking those jobs, or not taking those jobs, but working those jobs. They're not taking anything from you, dude.
What about an illegal Canadian?
See, nobody talks about the illegal Indians, the illegal Canadians. Nobody talks about the Chinese. Nobody talks about them, man. It's all we're hearing is Mexican. Like, yeah, like that's the false narrative, because a lot of these people aren't jumping a fence to come here. You know how they get in here? They come here on a visa. They come here and basically dip out and never check back in and disappear in the system. They're not jumping a damn gate. If you go look at the real numbers of how many people legally come here and don't leave, man.
Fast and the Furious showed me that there was tunnels.
True. But I knew there were tunnels because they've been moving dope through those for a long time, man.
But it just brings me back. It brings me back to what I was saying earlier. Anytime that they want to show you something,
right?
They want to show it to you. That's what's up, man.
Yeah. So I mean,
you don't need an extra camera on me.
Who? Oh no, they're gonna go. They're gonna come and go. I'll let that one cool when we got 2 angles, so we're good. Like, I'm rolling. We're halfway done. Hey, another thing, man. We'll switch it up real quick, cause like I say, man, I can really go on and on about that. And
it don't matter.
And the way that our shit's going, we'll have plenty of time to talk about that shit. Yeah. Because this guy's not gonna stop.
Ain't open by next week.
We can talk about it again next week, man. But let's move on to another a sadder situation, man. Over the holidays.
So explain it to me, because if it doesn't come on YouTube,
I was late to the party too with it, because I'm really not a big fan of sad and bad news.
Of course.
I actually just avoid it and don't read it. When y'all share it, I skip right over it. Yeah. Even the Wall speeches, I see it so much. The R. Kelly thing, didn't watch it. Like, it just, I don't do the normal things normal human beings
Once
do.
I saw Sheila Jackson Lee,
I just don't do
check that.
And that's no cap to anybody, but like...
No, that's a cap to her. Stop being an opportunity.
No, not her. That's Cornell X and everybody else. But we're going to get into that because it's a subtopic of this topic. But like I said, I was late to the party too, because I don't feed into popular news a lot. It takes a while before it hits me, right?
Gotcha.
So it's a case of mistaken identity, right? Where they thought they thought it was one car, ended up shooting up the wrong car. How do you do that at 6-7 in the morning? Blows my mind. But
why were you out?
They're gangbangers.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Like of course, and that's not to even be discussed. So I think the whole situation is sad. You know, Hopkins stepped up, did some real stuff. A couple more people in the city, man. Like the city, like people were really pushing towards, you know, trying to help this family comfort. Now, I get on social media and making the mother out to be some bad person. Like, oh, she knew the guy. Went dig, and people just. Dog, listen. This is where I want to go with the fake news and the false narratives.
Okay.
2,000, 3,000 comments. As I'm looking, it's fresh comments. 1 second, 2 second, like they're hitting, and people are like, "Oh, see, I knew that. That's why you shouldn't donate your money because it was up to like 86 grand or something like that they donated for funeral costs. It just surpassed that. People just being compassionate." You know, finding pictures of her like in the, you know, dressed up with a bunch of hood chicks and whatever, bro. Like, but I'm like, what does that have to do with this situation? Like, that little girl still died. It doesn't. So they're going into that. It's all you have to do is click on that and go and look. Wasn't the guy that they were saying that she was friends with wasn't even the same guy. It's a totally different guy. It was Eric something, but it wasn't even the same guy that everybody was finger pointing and saying that she was friends of the people, so she knew him. So something funny happened and like this little conspiracy. Before that happened, when I first found out about the stories, they were sharing. My phone's been broke, FYI, for 12 days. Everybody knows that if you follow me. Like, it's another story for another day. But
screens finally came in.
Yes, it's back. But so I had not been on Facebook and the internet. I went back into my tunnel of like whatever and start editing and doing
another movie.
I did put another one of those out.
All right.
And just got into just doing different stuff, man. I just wasn't occupied by that. And I get a
Pert podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, I always press record that comment as well. Three just thrice. No. I'm going to hell in the casket, in the same, whatever, in the Firestone casket. So there's a white guy on there, and they're like, "Oh, they finally got the bastard that did it." People slam, you know, black people came on there and slamming, white people too. Everybody slamming these people, slamming the hell.
Well, he was in jail at the time that.
Yeah, like had nothing because he had a red truck. They were saying he did. This is what the false narrative was. So I'm just watching they slam the hell out these people, bro, like back to back without even clicking the link and people being like, nah, that's not the guy. This guy's been in jail. That's all you have to do is click the photo or click the original post and look at the comments. And it'll be like the top comment on there because most people will like it and give it 2 thumbs up and be like, thank you for giving us the real information. Trey, it just baffles me that the human mind, that their human minds aren't smart enough to be like, boop. Let me just take a look at this.
What's the difference between them and Trump supporters then? Because
there is none.
Look at a lot of the political information that made people make decisions on who to vote for without even clicking and reading if the article is valid. I mean, we're just talking about this tragic situation here in Houston, but I mean, think about how much other information that flows by your timeline or through social media, and you just grab your own opinion before you even do some independent research, and like to me that highlights a bigger problem with society.
Thank you. All right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. We're on the same. We're on the same page.
I can see where y'all are at.
So
I'm going to go a little bit different on this one before we go on that.
Okay, because there's a subtopic to that.
Because for me, when I hear any more details about this tragedy, and let me just say, man, thoughts and prayers.
Yes, to the family, man.
And to everybody affected, those who thought that you had to figure out the answer to your problems via a gun.
True.
Like, all right, just because, like, you know, real talk, I believe in guns for protection.
Oh yeah, I'm a gun lover.
I believe in guns for the zombies. I believe in a lot of different things that a gun is used for, but when it's just used to kill a kid, man.
Yeah, man.
Let me just say, I would, all right. So man, for all those things, let's just have that on record. But for 2019, man, here's my message for all those people. 2018, it was lawyers are expensive, and we now see that Tekashi is still just trying to pay for bail. Right. So this year, do something different. Find a way out. Why were you out at 6 a.m. with a gun on you trying to look for a car because you didn't find a way out?
Apparently a fight at a club.
Man, You shouldn't have been over at the club looking for a girl because you should have had a nice woman who was going to rub your fucking dick at. Like, find a way out, man. Everything that puts you in harm's way or makes it to where somebody else gets to choose your destiny. Because that's what they did when they got in that car.
Yes.
If he rides, man. Right? And so, let me just say, man, 2019, find a way out of whatever that can put you at risk, because right now, man, they're coming. All right?
Oh yeah.
They're coming.
Oh yeah.
And right now, you see how social media is doing the R. Kelly, and even though that's a sick situation with itself, but you see right now with this sad situation, how much is played out on social media to where at first people were asking for a hate crime.
Right.
Right? And now that
mom
we know,
said it was a white man, and she saw a white guy.
Well, maybe she did.
Maybe she.
Isn't that what she said though? Right?
Yeah, and no, and it was a red. There was footage of the red truck, but nigga, when bullet, he probably was getting the fuck, because I've been around people shooting across a parking lot, shooting next to me, shooting at me, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I couldn't, if I didn't know the car that was doing it, I'm not finna know it while those bullets are flying at me. You feel me? And to pull up on side of you like that, man, like that's one of my biggest fears riding around at night, because it's like it's gang initiations, it's this, it's that. So when I ride with, I don't put my gun up, I put it right there in my cup holder. One is already in the chamber, it's already slid into position. Like if the cops come, hey, it is what it is, man. I'm gonna try to tuck it into the the console, but worst comes to worst, fuck it, man. Like, just keep my hands on the wheel. You go see it, be like, hey, man, it's right there. Nah, I ain't moving. You open the door. You know what I mean? And play, I'm not. I hope you got your body cam on, because you're like, yeah, the gun's right there. We both see it. So what you gonna do? It's your play. You feel me? But I'd rather be safe than sorry in those situations. So I can't ask why you're riding around with a gun at 6 a.m. because I ride around with a gun at 6 a.m. because of people like that. You see what I'm saying? So, she doesn't know. It's a mother and her kids. And
are you actively still putting yourself in harm?
No, because I'm not an idiot, and I actually want everybody to make it home. I tell people all the time, I remember somebody rolling up on me at a red light, man, and the dude he had murder on his mind. Looked like his wife had just, or his girlfriend just left him. His eyes were dead. He looking at me just like with this look of
just angry.
And dog, I just came back from Whataburger, 2 number 5s, one with no onion for my wife, nigga, with a Sprite, nigga. Like, I'm just like, bruh. But it's right here. Like, because I saw him when we rolled by the other light. So now I'm just like this. I had already rolled the window down because I'm like, no sense of busting glass. So, he looking. I'm like, what we gonna do? And in my mind, it's like we both could make it home, or one of us can make it home, and I still go home. Like, and I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna be like, hey, whoop de whoop whoop, because I want to see how you're gonna play it. Because the moment you start reaching or acting like you're about to do something, it's about to be a problem out here. But having that position of power, you have to understand that we both can make it home. A fight at the club doesn't mean shit to me. We fought people at the club all the time. If you win, you win. If you fucking lose, you lose, and you go home. But it's not.
People didn't fight then, really.
It's not. We did fight. I had 50 fights coming up.
Yeah,
we fought.
People would bring it out.
We had a whole 30 on 20 on Stratford, bro. We fought in the 90s, so that's one of the biggest lies. Like there were cowards who couldn't fight that would grab guns back then, and that's what you were considered back then, because your life wasn't threatened. Now, if somebody starts pulling guns out, and we start pulling guns, and people start shooting,
then that's a whole nother.
That's a whole different thing, man. So we're talking about apples and oranges here, Trey. I'm talking about a baby girl, hadn't even made it to double digits, I don't believe, man. However old she was, bro. Regardless of the fact.
But
after Christmas.
Like, but that there's a war zone in Illinois tragedy, right now, man.
Yeah, I understand that.
And then it happens way more often.
It does. So
to where even Dwayne Wade got affected.
Of course. Well, D. Rose was paying for funerals this whole time in Chicago of his friends, of all his friends, because he grew up around that as well. I get all of that stuff, but he found a way out, and he's giving back and he's contributing. Now you have one dude's in jail snitching on one, which I told you about that last year. These streets is a myth. Troy Ave is right. Niggas is not. This nigga told the whole story, like, oh yeah, such and such was I was with him, but I ain't kill him. I feel bad about it. Like, he trying to backpedal out of it. But what he don't realize is, even though you snitch, you probably get like 25. They'll let you come home after 25. You may be able to come home, right? But you're getting charged with murder too, buddy, because you were in the car, you were driving when that felony and the act was committed. You knew what was about to happen, because now you snitched on him. What do you think he's going to do? He's going to be like, oh yeah, he knew. Matter of fact, he was the shooter. You feel me? Like, so, and you're going to have to battle and fight to prove that you weren't. And the jury is not going to feel guilty or sad for you in any type of way, bro. They'll feel guilty for you, all right, when they hit your ass with the guilty. You feel me? Like, and that's going to be the bottom line to that, man. Like, it's a fucking tragedy on both sides of the spectrum, because it's another case where it's just like black males on some fucking bullshit, man. Straight niggerism is what I call it. And you take it away, I take it out, we want to take it.
And that's
it is still a thing, though.
Well, that's my whole thing about trying to find a way out, because like crime within the community that's been around so much that we talk. There was that Lawrence Fishburne, know that Lawrence Fisher and Gangster or whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, and that was socializing how we were doing it back then. And so like real talk, like crime and the profit of crime that will probably always exist, just like other professions. But the thing is that, man, we got to start finding a way. And the thing about when I heard about that, I didn't even turn it on, because it's like, man, there's so much sickness on the timeline.
Yeah.
There's so much
sickness. And that's why I didn't, I honestly, if it wasn't for the white man, I wouldn't have even knew. I put 2 and 2 together when I started seeing the girl's picture all day, because I was just in and out on the book without my phone, bro. I was just on Instagram, I was on Instagram freaking double tapping booties and shit, man. Yeah. You already know I am. So I wasn't even really paying attention I wasn't even paying attention to any of that stuff. I was like, so when I finally started to hit my timeline and come up a little bit more, man, I really understood that the cycle that we feel like we have to be in, we don't need to be in. Then I started digging into the investigation a little bit more. And then I'm looking into the past of these guys a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And one of those dudes come from a house as nice as this, man. It's a nice little neighborhood. So I don't want to hear.
No,
I don't want to hear the street life shit or this. Mama ain't have shit. Like, no, nigga, you had a nice. It was that when they show this little community, because they're like, hey, such the resident right here. Whoop, 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 they didn't want to reply. Like that hoe was like new houses, like. No, basically, and not saying your neighborhood determines your attitude, but in a way, shape, or form, why are you pretending out here? And then you get bammed up, and you the first one running your mouth. Stay away from stuff like that. Now, the other guy had been to jail 8 times.
Wait, from Louisiana, had a gun charge?
The one that was driving, the one that snitched, first time in trouble with the law. The other guy, 8 times. But he had 8 different cases, though. He may have been from the boot, but he had 8 different cases, man.
So you from the boot. Let me just ask you a question, because I was asking bananas, somebody. Man. Huh?
No, go ahead. I said it's bananas. Crazy,
no, I was over here talking to somebody because, we were here during the 90s after Katrina happened and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of people came in from the boot. And they were saying that, and somebody was over talking about, all of the crime that Bob Lanier cleared out with the extra police on the streets, it all went away after Katrina. And I was like, well,
that's a lot.
With Katrina, there was new types of crimes. Like, you remember, like, there was different types of purse snatchings more and stuff like that. It was different type of crime that probably came over as a hustle. Uh-huh. But it was kind of like, that was a bad little rap that
they try to slam upon black people in New Orleans, but Houston crime rate was already up 35% before Katrina hit.
It's the big
city. No. Houston crime rate was already up 35% before. I already did my shit on this.
Yeah.
But 35% before before New Orleans even came down here.
Yeah.
Houston murder rate was already up that same year. They came down here to August. So our murder rate was already higher than what it was going to be. Our crime rate was already up 35%. You better, these people, nobody looks at numbers and go fact check anything anymore. They just want to put it to a person and being a Mexican or this or that. Like, nobody actually goes and do the work anymore, Trey. Like, this shit was already going up, bro. Like, Houston was
in society.
No, it's exactly what you're saying. Nobody wants to click the link.
And let me keep it a fucking beam with you.
Yeah.
The violence was New Orleans versus New Orleans. Like, this Houston versus New Orleans shit was a myth. Like, it was a couple fights here and there, between high school kids. But what I was noticing,
it was at TSU.
What I was noticing most of the time was these cats beefing with each other because they couldn't find them in the city, and they were putting people from the 8 or the 17. Yeah. They were putting them together, and that's what they were robbing each other for FEMA money. They were doing stuff. It was New Orleans on New Orleans, and that was another thing it's documented that it was New Orleans on New Orleans crime, and then Houston on Houston crime was still the same.
Well, but you also remember that it was a lot of people just taking in people.
True. Yes.
And then they would get paid
money for it. Yes.
And then things will happen. In situations,
Right.
Well, people started owing people money, man, and like everybody knows, once you become broke again,
once money's involved, anything.
Like what I didn't like about that, like a lot of situations where you're speaking on, as far as like people were saying. They're blaming these, particular people, the ones because of the violence and that. The messed up part about it, bro, was like a lot of the stuff was just coming from the same people that was from in New Orleans. Like I had came across, and it's the thing, and it's almost like the kind of highlights like we, I guess a lot of people do it. You know what I mean? It's not like a New Orleans thing. I think like it's some sort of black people thing in general. Like, like to separate yourself, like say, these people. So case in point, I'm working at off of Depot at the time in college, and as the lady come by and she said, yeah, I'm from New Orleans, but like from a nice part or whatever. Right? I didn't know at the time, and so I'm like, oh, okay, how you doing? Just typical. Then she just started getting into about we are nice people and this and that, and we're not from this place, and these are people, and I'm like, I didn't know you from the next man,
right.
But you had already tried to,
separate yourself from being ghetto, or separate yourself from being hood,
well, what I'm saying is like you're, a lot of the push to blame also came from the same, because you also had a lot of cats that was like, yeah, we is responsible for that stuff. You might have put research a number, but you had a lot of New Orleans dudes was claiming that.
Well, yeah,
we did bring that, drama. We did bring that.
But they
right. We don't know if there was numbers to back it up, but
because Lil Wayne was going to U of H.
Get the fuck out of here. He's a conspiracy.
And then my dude was like. New Orleans is the roughest part because I made it through it. But that dude was a straight A student. You want to know what I think about Lil Wayne when I see the Carter documentary? Is that dude was me. He was just a nerd.
Yeah, but most of the best rappers were. Yeah. So, and I don't take anything away from anybody being.
Can we talk some hip hop on the show?
Being a nerd. Man, we almost
what? Yeah,
can I get
what is there to?
See, that's we talk hip hop all the time.
What's going on?
I just been listening to the Swiss Beats album, and it made me like really hype all of a sudden.
I haven't made it around to it, and I didn't want to listen to it because when he said he took off that Jay-Z song, cause I didn't want to listen to it. He got a song like Jay-Z. Who else?
It was Nas. It was Jay-Z, Nas, some other body.
Yeah, he took it off his album because he didn't want people to just skip to that one song. It's like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna just skip your whole fucking album. How about that?
Just quick conversation. Because I like to see how they market it. Because it's hard to make new music out there in the public, in the atmosphere, right?
Right.
Because it's hard to market anything now. Because it's all saturated. Him having like a song with each type of hotness, like if you like Nas, you got that Nas. If you like Wayne, where he was going pistol on my side, like if you like Wayne, that shit was fire. Like he did gigs, and like I fucks with London grimy music, and Gigs is like the only rapper that's really over there who's like, I'm hip hop, and so. I'm always down, even though he got a bad rap with Drake and whatnot. It was one of those things where I was like, you know what? I understood. But yeah, now the Swiss Beast was kind of interesting because if he does have that in the tank, then like, wow, because he brought out the goodness on Nas, man. like that song Echo, man. I just like Swiss's part because he goes on there and like it's the same reason why I like Puff now. It's just because I like for somebody just to talk that slick shit.
Now Swiss is a good producer. You know, we did the producer of all time. He came up. You know,
Kanye came up there.
He did. He actually did. He actually
was. It's still Trump forever.
On the boat. Yeah.
No, that's it. Check out the 2.0
though.
I had actual producers, so of course it was going to come up. But actually, Quincy Jones and a lot of people, abstract people came up. People that I would have been like, you know. So my thing was I wasn't trying to copy everybody else, because if you name your greats, then I'm just name what I relate to in that aspect. But you know, Swiss is cool, man, and he does have Nas sounding like Nas. I'm excited about that, but again, I still feel away from him by him pulling that song. But then whatever, he can do whatever the fuck he want to do. You know, he switched beats, but I still feel away. And he fucking leaves keys though.
He didn't even have to
Kanye still gonna perform in his Make America Great again.
Will he still perform his hat? Probably.
No, he said he will. I'm saying and Kanye will still perform.
Oh yeah.
He said
he was beefing. Yeah.
He tweeted. He says still Trump, son.
Yeah, but then it's like 1 minute he's like I'm duped and like you know I'm not even looking forward to that Joe Rogan podcast and I know
right
yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it because of Joe Rogan. No,
I won't watch it.
Joe Rogan.
No, I think it's gonna be farcical, and I think it's gonna be like the first time that he's gonna actually be in front of somebody like a lot of people are like sycophants of Kanye, where like basically Kanye is a genius, Kanye is that, and I think
Kanye
Joe
is
Rogan.
Not a genius to me. I don't know why y'all say that.
You're saying,
you know,
but I think no. I don't want to get on that. I don't care about that.
Because he makes some fucking beats.
He loves Kanye.
Yeah, no, he knows. We already talked about it. He's hurt. And this is why he's doing it.
If he's a genius, then Dr. Dre is fucking Albert Einstein.
Right,
yes, he is. But everybody who's produced on a high level is. You're laughing like I'm going to disagree. He is.
This is how
Metro Boom is a genius?
If he gets to that point, yeah.
No.
I mean, they all created something that everybody likes, so why can't you fit that category?
Man, these old Fruity Loop ass engineer, beat ass,
niggas. But anyway, he's still making bread, man. And it's
Stevie Wonder,
same with
Ray Charles, genius.
Same with you. If you
taking a sample and flipping a fucking sample makes you a genius.
But he did a lot of other stuff too. But at the end of the day, though, it's the same thing with you. Like if you came out and you produced this track and all of a sudden it blew up,
he's a fucking producer.
Pert's going to be a genius.
All right. So what I'm saying about the Joe Rogan Kanye thing, which I think that you might appreciate, is that for the first time ever, somebody who's going to sit in front of Kanye on record is not going to give a fuck about kissing his ass. Because Joe Rogan is a self-entity onto himself. He has his own podcast on his own platform, and he doesn't care about anything about it. So there's not going to be anybody who's going to go over and prep him with questions he can have away. He can't. He's going to smoke. He's going to do whatever he wants to do because he's fucking Joe Rogan. And Kanye's going to have to answer to some things. And like, do I want Kanye to answer to some things after all this time?
He doesn't. Though.
I don't think that he should. I don't think he has to. I don't think I care.
It's not about that. He literally doesn't answer the fucking questions. We seen him sit down with Harvey, bro, and sitting at the table. I'm not saying Harvey's Joe Rogan, but we seen him sit down at that table, man, have a conversation. And it didn't go anywhere, bro. Like, when they ask serious questions, he just do this shit right here.
And I think that's the problem.
But then he also
say, you know what?
But then he also say he doesn't know
Walt Disney. People said Walt Disney. People said Joe.
But did he admit his ignorance about the
slave thing? Yes, but I'm not talking about.
No. I'm saying like he was saying.
At the table. Yeah.
He was like, I do admit that I don't know.
And that's the reason why he's not a real genius.
That's my fucking point.
No, but I say let that dude go out there. I say let that dude go out there and just prove it over and over again.
Yeah, musically, he is.
Well,
Kanye needs to fizzle out. Kanye needs to fizzle out, and this is what it is.
Not a rapper.
And he's
bombed.
I don't say rapper.
Last couple albums,
I don't put him in the
top.
I
think the fact that y'all are still even talking about that dude after he said that about slavery is shit.
Yeah,
look at him.
Man, I'm done.
Had nothing to do with me.
I already said
I didn't bring him up on my producer list. He don't come up on my rap list, my producer list. He doesn't come up on any list that I have. Unless we're giving out Coon Awards. If we're giving out Coon Awards, then I'll give it to him. I think he's one of those people that make me be like, you know what, man, fuck mental health. Because y'all niggas is on some bullshit right now. Because now you're going to use, everything's mental health now. Like, no, nigga, some of this shit is self bullshit. Has nothing to do with mental health. So now when I see people that are mentally fucking ill, I'm like, is this nigga pulling the Kanye? Is he really not that ill? And I know mentally ill friends I have some. Like and they'll sit up here and they'll sit up here and tell you and let you know that. But they're normal people when they're being normal. When they have episodes, they have episodes. You can't have nobody has a fucking episode. People that have episodes every day like that are locked up in a straitjacket in a fucking room somewhere, getting meds until they're fucking Homeland Carey, nigga, bipolar with the shit. And when she gets off balance, they gotta put her into basically a facility to get well. When nigga tell me he doesn't want to take meds because it's gonna take away from the album, nigga, the last 2 albums were duty. So what he's gonna take? The Nas album was duty.
He hasn't been making them.
What greatness are we talking about? The Nas album was duty.
And that's what I'm saying.
That's about genius. Genius is never genius.
Like, why are you still care?
Because genius is Dre had one bad album, bro. You know what that was? You know what that was? That man's a genius. Like, you know what that was? He's a billionaire.
Why does he inspire?
Hov is a genius.
Why does he inspire so much?
Billions of genius.
When like
everybody was not Kanye.
No, you knew.
They're all billionaires. They're geniuses.
You knew exactly what was going on in Kanye's world when they said, "Oh, he's chopping up beats again." That dude hadn't touched a console, a knob, or anything in so long that like just the fact that he's chopping up beats, that should be Rod Digger. Like that dude always had his MPC with him, dude, until it was done. And that's all I'm saying is that's a real producer. That was a genius who made an MPC cry, make a thug cry. And all I'm saying is that, man, the way that everybody's feeling about Kanye, why y'all still giving him energy?
It's not even about the energy y'all want to have a conversation about. Y'all brought him up. Like I told you, I don't need to bring the nigga up. Like, because he doesn't mean shit to me.
D brought it up.
What he's saying is the nigga still gonna wear the hat.
Episode 11.
If he's still gonna do this, if he's still gonna do that, it's not even about being hurt anymore. It's just about being
starting the year off right.
It's just about being past agitated about there and people and people actually
been on your Kanye.
Because I'm talking about
2 shows.
I'm talking about the Drake rant. Like this nigga, bro. Like he making me not like mental health, bro. Like not or respect mental health.
You don't understand.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what no. But he's making me not because now it's almost like the hippie effect. I know, but it's almost like the hippie effect with like where people start screaming Black Lives Matter, these white people screaming shit. Probably didn't even know what the fucking acronym stood for. You know what I'm saying? But they're out there with signs like, oh, BLM, like, oh yeah, like, yeah, let's do it. You know, like, what is this? Oh, Black Lives Matter, yeah, let's go, let's do it.
Why everybody want to be part of something?
That's my. Thank you, bro. Thank you. No, but I even
energy attracts people.
Even me being fucking extroverted, bro. Like I don't. Like I could sit back and watch y'all record your episode and be like, damn, that's good. Like and listen to the whole thing and not. It don't need to be about me all the time. Like I don't need to be a part of it. You know, I didn't in high school. I didn't need to be a part of shit.
Kanye's still trying.
That nigga needs to sit his old ass down somewhere and wrap it up, bro. I don't want to hear Throne 2. I don't want to hear nothing.
It's not gonna be a Throne 2.
And Hov is not finna associate himself with that. Now they'll be brothers forever, and I respect that.
Do you think another album's coming from Hov? Before he's done.
Probably before he's done. Maybe
2 at the most.
When did he turn 50? Is he 50 yet?
Yeah, I think he's old.
Did he just hit 50?
It doesn't even matter.
49.
That gift isn't going around.
I know, but I think he'll hit us. I think he'll hit us with some more wisdom, man. Which is what I'm interested in. You know, I'm just not interested in lollipop music from old niggas. I want to hear old niggas rap about old nigga shit. Feel me? Married, kids, wife, life.
Well, it's just like how much, like with Jay-Z, like
I mean, we're getting older. Yeah, but we're getting older. I want to hear
how many times can you shit.
That's why Wayne is still trash to me.
Nah, man, Jay-Z had the greatest rebrand when like he started
after the stabbing. Now, after the stabbing and when your life almost got taken away from you, see that's the best man shit right there. Feel me? This is where 6ix9ine and these other cats can't fathom to be.
Really did stab
they can't fathom to be on the same level. No, I know his man. Oh yes, because they're bootlegging shit. It is what it is. He admits to that. he played whatever he played in. Whatever the deal was with that, I don't want to speak on another man's shit like that. But this is the difference between come on now, fuck out of here. But yeah, just like
lawyers are expensive.
Just like there wasn't Diddy busting an ooh-op that was Shine, and he got 10, and then left it.
It was definitely Shine.
Yeah,
It was definitely Shine.
Okay, right.
That's why Jennifer Lopez was shook.
Right, and dipped. And dipped.
She saw who she was.
Jenny around the block was like, oh shit, nigga, and dipped on your ass. Nigga went back to her fly girl days and got away from your ass, man. But nah, man, like that, that stuff, bro. I think that was life altering, life changing for Hov, and like he turned his stuff around. That's why I say he was a genius, because it's like he took it to another level. Kanye's mother died, and Lord forbid, everybody gonna go through that pain, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but he didn't bounce back. He went
and yeah. So there's.
But he did make.
There's two different rabbit holes you can go with that. Like my uncle's like that. His mother passed away. My grandmother passed away when he was young, and my mother's strong about it. But like he uses that as a crutch to.
Because it might be
to be negative in life, though.
It just might be.
Even growing up, be like, oh, your mama's still here. Oh, this or that. You don't feel me. So he loves Zero because Zero's mother died. And he always rapped about his mother.
It was the reason why I love Dave Matthews.
And he always rapped about his mother dying. That's, like I said, all fine and dandy. I'm not... You can't heal if you keep soaking and sombering in pain. And I guess that's what my point with Ye is you can't heal. You can't heal when you keep on putting that energy out there like that.
Does he think he needs to heal?
So when I heard these
if not, then he's not mentally ill. Then he's just been stubborn.
Can I just talk about music?
We all need to heal.
Can I just talk about music, just artist to artist?
Go ahead, man.
All right, real quick. All right, so let's just take the albums from after Mom Duke's passed, right?
Okay.
Because frankly, that's when he became an artist that was unfiltered, right?
Okay.
He went down my dark, beautiful fantasy, right?
Dark twisted fantasy.
Yeah, right? Whatever that was. Because his whole catalog don't support it. But he started actually hitting the strides, right? With Yeezus, what I saw, because wait. Well, like you know how long it takes to actually make an album. It takes a couple of months, right? It takes about like 6 months. So really, whatever you recorded at the beginning is not what you're really living there, right?
Right.
And so, like with Yeezus, it was a whole bunch of I Am a God, a whole bunch of ego, a whole bunch of that, right?
The beats were trash though. It had nothing to do with the lyrics.
No, it was Travis Scott very early.
Those beats were grunge and trash.
Man, it was Travis Scott very early.
Okay, what are you saying?
That Travis Scott made Astroworld, and it was pretty good because he fell on Yeezus. And so, I'm just saying. And so then we had the Pablo, right, where he tried to be Drake. But you can't be Drake and be married. Drake knows that. And so now we're over at Ye, where he's over trying to bring it back to him because the character doesn't work.
Okay.
But you're almost 50, bro. Your whole life is so oversaturated. You got the woman who literally takes naked pictures of herself in her own bathroom.
True.
For not just for content, but for an income.
For the world. Shit.
For an income.
Yeah, for an income, but for the world.
Yeah. And so it's like at this point, it's like when it comes over to Kanye, the fact that he did like he made that many albums in a month, it means that he's struggling. He doesn't have the gift. There's no more music left. There was nothing in the vault.
He made me not listen to Push's album, man.
He doesn't have anything in the vault, Pert.
I don't like him.
He doesn't have anything in the vault. Can you imagine Tupac not having anything in the vault?
There's 2 more Tupac albums coming out right now.
So. That's what I'm saying. This dude had nothing in the vault to where he could be on a drug-filled binge just releasing shit.
Because he's not a fucking genius. That's my whole point. A genius would
and that's all you need to know.
That's the reason a genius would have a genius
shouldn't be triggering you every single time, especially on.
Hey man, fuck Kanye, man. Happy New Year, everybody, man. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you right now, man. A genius is not gonna run out of ideas.
How you know what a genius is gonna do? Geniuses have mental blocks all the time. Mozart had a mental block. Beethoven had mental blocks. Everybody had mental blocks.
Was a genius. Mozart and
Albert Einstein had a mental block. They all bounced back, son.
Who? No, people thought Einstein was crazy because his ideas were forwarding.
Bro, I'm hungry and I'm
I know. And we're about to wrap this shit up because I'm hungry than a motherfucker too. And but yeah, man, we're back.
Yes, sir. Opening the year, it's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Patty doing some old wedding shit, man. So you already know what it is, man. We're getting excited for that. Are y'all coming to the?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. It should be a good time.
I don't know when it is, but I know that I'll be around
26 or something like that. But yeah, man, we're back, man. We'll pick up on some other stuff next week because, like, I actually never got to get to my question because Trey curved my goddamn topic, and I'm not gonna bring it up now, but just think about it and linger on it. Would things be different if the guy was black initially that killed Jazmine? And I don't want any answers. I just want you to ponder on it when it first came out. So not the white guy. Like it would just ponder.
How would the story?
How would the story play out if that was a black guy? I don't play devil's advocate because with the white guy we saw how it went and how everybody wanted his head. And then how it kind of died down, but I want to.
So you're saying how would the
world's reaction? I'm talking celebrities. Celebrities, the donation.
Hopkins have.
Yes.
Okay, so if it was just like a regular gun violence type of thing.
Yes, and I want to pick up on that.
Okay.
But just ponder on that a little bit, man, because I think that's why I wanted to really turn that conversation to. But we always end up great conversations anyway. We turned it, but
it was a lot of time.
Yeah, it slid off my head. But we'll bring it back because I did want to talk about that though, because I think that's important.
Yeah.
Planet Pert Podcast, episode number 11. Man, we out, man.
PlanetPertPodcast.com.
PlanetPertPodcast.com. AlwaysPressRecord.com. PowerHits281.com.
This is a Always Press Record production. Thank you for tuning in to the Planet Pert Podcast. Shout outs to